Okay, welcome everybody to the All Markets webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap, and we're going to be going through live order flow analysis using Bookmap with a goal here. The goal is to understand the auction, the participants in that auction. We want to understand the goal is what what are their actions, what's their activity. That gives us insight to where the markets might go. We can simply read it. The only way that participants can act in the market is via their orders. And understanding the order flow will give us that insight. All right, so that's the logic behind it and the edge that order flow can give. Let's see. Well, our process here, we go through this every morning for these webinars. This is the same as the Bookmap Academy process in here. Impetus, what's moving the markets? Okay, well, we know, we'll go through them and one by one here and answer them. Well, we know what's going on. There's a ton of volatility in the market due to the war in Iran. We'll talk about some of the reactions yesterday as well from Trump talking about it might end sooner than we think, and the market rallied tremendously. All right, so this is the environment we're in, and it's not for the faint of heart. You know, if you want to play, someone could tweet or say something, politician, and the markets can go pretty nutty. So prepare for that risk. Don't fight it, and you know, try to go with it. You have to be flexible. You have to be nimble, and this is simply the environment we are in. We do have a lot of other things kind of pushing and pulling. Worries about inflation, worries about tech. We have earnings coming out, and how all of this is playing within the broader scope of this war. Volatility is up. It really got kind of crushed yesterday, but it's still elevated. It's still above 20, and yesterday it looks like it climbed up to about 35 or so, and that's significant. All right, so looking at some higher time frame key levels, well, keep this in mind too. These higher time frame key levels, there's going to be more volatility around them. You will have to consider, most likely consider, either really tightening your stops and looking for a very specific move to work out for you, or widening those stops out and giving it more leeway and breathing room, and reduce your size. Okay, so a couple of different ways to approach it. It's up to you and your style, and developing scenarios and strategies around these key levels and the impetus, or what's moving the markets. So for example, do you want to are you looking for a breakout? Are you looking for a breakdown? Are you looking for a move to the upside and then fade it back into the middle after it spikes through that level and then comes back down below it? Okay, well, if these are some of the scenarios that we want to be in line with the impetus and the key levels, and then finally we come down to our setup. What is the setup? Select the proper setup for the day. You should know your checklist. You should know your setup. You should be able to grade it, determine the risk that you want to put on for that trade opportunity that you see within your setup, and then you look at the order flow to execute. All right, that is the process here that we go through. That is the same process we go through in the pilot program. This is a subsector of the Bookmap Academy. Let me explain. If we go to bookmap.com, okay, and you click on the More button here under Community, you'll see Bookmap Academy here. You can click on that and join the Academy. There's no cost to it at all. In fact, you can just have the free version of Bookmap, and you can trade crypto, or you can access crypto markets and replay files, well, recorded data or delayed data, I'm sorry. And you can mark up content from that if you like, and partake in the Bookmap Academy and learn, and then upgrade to Bookmap when you feel comfortable. It's up to you. anyway, there's no cost to it. Bruce's pilot program here, you will need to have Bookmap, Global or Global Plus. I recommend Global Plus because it offers another instance of replay on a different machine. Okay, so that's a real nice benefit. And you can go through here and you can sign up for this. There's no cost to this either. However, you will have to have Bookmap. All right, there's just no way around it here. You will be using replay mode heavily. You will learn how to get an edge. That's what this program is all about. It's about getting an edge. Like I said, it's a subsector of the Bookmap Academy because most of the traders I've worked with, they don't have a defined edge. They don't have a process to create an edge. We provide the structured structured process here to build that edge. And this is the most effective approach I've seen. It's the quickest as well. That you can use replay mode in a sped up environment. So looking at the market, instead of 1x, you can look at it at 16x. Whatever you want. You can go higher. You can go to 32x. You can go down to 8x, whatever. And slow it down. You can pause it, look at it again. You can rewind it and retrade it. This is how you're going to build your edge. Okay, you're going to understand the nuances in the setup. We'll provide you a setup. I will provide you another setup later this week, end of the week. All right, we've got the low volume pullback setup, and I will provide that for you as well. So we'll have two setups in here. One is a reversal, which is essential to understand, and the other one is a continuation pattern. Okay, and you will build out your edge, and this will probably be a fantastic foundation for you to build upon. Anyway, if you want to partake in that, go to this page here, and I'll put it into the chat as well. Sign up and start posting. Get feedback from the community as well, and learn about the whole process in here. All right, let's go through the disclosures. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's take a look. First thing first, let's just zoom out and talk about this environment we are in. Okay, so here's the weekend over here in Bookmap. This is the ES, the S&P E-mini. We see the drop here. Okay, let's just zoom in over here. Okay, at the Sunday evening on the way down, and then we can see here on this big move up here. All right, at the end of the day yesterday. This is the geopolitical risks in the news. All right, so Trump came out later at I don't know, just after 3, and had said that this war can end sooner than later, and the market responded, pretty substantially here to it. So we went from 67.28 to 68 14 or 15. So big move there. Now if you heard that, you watched this in you heard this in your news feeds, or you saw the order flow supporting this, guys, I feel like it's a great combination. You've got order flow and you've got news, and you can really knock it out of the park on some of these. And hold for quite a big move, and this is where a lot of professional traders make a lot of money. Now, it's a double-edged sword. So make sure that you understand the environment, what this news means, and how the traders are responding to that news. All right, so let's jump over here and let's go through. Let's see if there's any questions to begin with. All right. Hey, Shark. Nice to see you in here. All right. Let's see. Vinfra, nice to see you. Welcome. Let's see. Reading his life. Laura. And okay, and we're all caught up there in the messages. And let me see over in YouTube. Okay, nothing at the moment. All right. Here, I'll put that link in here for you guys, though, for that pilot program. Okay. There you go. Okay. All right. So what do we see right now? So, or what's the environment we're in right now? Okay. So volatility is down a little bit from yesterday, but we're still above 20. So it's still very high. I was reading this morning that the war has stepped up even more. You know, that's not a good sign, even though we heard something different from Trump yesterday. We do have on the earning or the calendar in here, we do have tomorrow we have some data. We have CPI later. Let's see, on Friday we've got durable goods, and we got preliminary GDP. So that's, people are going to be really watching that one for inflation, right? So we'll have to you know, keep our eyes peeled for that number. All right, let's see. We have a weekly unemployment claims on Thursday. That's just a weekly number, though, so it's not going to be that important. Okay, and then key levels. Let's look at our key levels in here, and zoom out a little bit. I mean, we're right at a key level just about now, in fact. So now this is on the overnight here. Okay, after the big move and then the chop, the sideways chop, one more hit up into a higher high here, and then we have this move down here. Okay, and we've got two touches on that line there, that horizontal line, and we can see that we came just shy of it here a little earlier today, before 9 or after 8, and then we're close now to it again here. Okay, so what are we anticipating here? I'm looking for the sellers to test this line and test through it. Okay, so I'm looking for them to come on right now. Heavy selling, let's see it. We've got liquidity down below it here around 62 or 60. And let's zoom a little bit further. 55, 50, you can see some coming in down here right now at 50. And then we also have some liquidity here. This is an algo, though. It's a little harder to read, the 73, but also here at 80. Okay, so on the offer, what's the reaction to some of this liquidity in here? Okay, well, we see a little bit of buying, now some selling. Okay, so let's see if we get one more. We're going to get one more rotation up here. And let's see if we can get some more selling. Now, let's look at the at this level here. We're looking at 65 and looking for it to test and to potentially break. What do we see right now? If we just kind of zoom out from the cash open, let's zoom out a little bit more here. Okay, here's our cash open here. You can see move to the upside, move to the down. Move to the down. We've got this at 10:05 here, retest back up into this area, and it fails. It comes right back down. Now let's start to understand in here. We know the trend is down. Okay, so let's in fact kind of draw that up. Okay, I don't know, something like this, and here's our channel. So we know the trend is down. Now what about the volume and what about the liquidity? Okay, so on the way down, we see there's buyers here on the bid getting filled. That's good. We're seeing some reactions, and we're seeing some aggressive buyers come in too, above this little swing here. And you can see some buying in here, and then the move down. some buying in here. Again, the move down. So are we getting kind of ready for a reversal? Potentially. If we see more and more buyers come back in, because we're starting to see some pockets of buying in here. But the overall, what I'm seeing in this in here is chop. I'm right. I know we're trending down, and I am looking for the sellers to try to extend below this swing and just test below into these areas in here. But I'm not seeing the aggressive sellers show up right now in this kind of bigger picture right now. Okay, so there's nothing. There's kind of hands off here at the moment. Where are those clusters of selling? One is over here. Let's just mark them up. One is, let me use the rectangle tool better. Okay. One is here. And the other cluster is mostly in this area here. There's a couple other little spots in here. And there's some buying just starting to come in and come in here. Okay, so this is the back and forth right now. What we really need to see and want to interpret here or analyze is those sellers that come in and when they can pick up that selling volume to crash through this 65 level here. Okay, it's a pretty important level for today. Okay, the overnight here. Okay, twice. Well, here's our third attempt here, made a higher low. All right. Okay, so you can see there's some of these buyers came in. We get the swing high, or we get a move higher up into the channel here that we drew. And you can also see this high liquidity here, okay, at this 67.80. The volume looks pretty good on the buy side here. Okay, and are we going to accept in a new range up in here? Okay. All right. So still some more buying coming in. Maybe we can squeeze a little bit higher. Okay, 84. Maybe up here above the swing, maybe around this 89 or 90 liquidity up here. Now the buying looks good. Guys, this is our continuation pattern in here, to be honest. Here's our breakout. Here's our pullback. At two different things, levels in here. We have first high liquidity here on the offer, and we have this channel line in here. But we see more buyers back up above it. So, looking for this to continue until we find those sellers. Okay, I would look for this 90 here to transact. Looks pretty good. Let's see it. Let's see if we can get these buyers in here. Okay, we certainly didn't get the sellers we were looking for down in this area here. Okay, there's 90. Okay, we're going to see a lot of stops triggered here as well. I don't have the stops indicator on here. I was demoing yesterday for those of you looking at CVD. I still have this study up here, and we can cover it again in here if you like. Actually, it looks like it's a little off here. Something's a little off. I know there's more than 5 contracts trading in here. What I wanted to demo was the overnight and how this just totally flatlines. But it's now flat here as well, and it should. Okay, so I zoom in and it's not. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look at this in here. Look at the divergence in here. All right, so we're looking at at minimum 5 contracts here. So this is more likely, larger players. They're trading with a minimum of 5 contracts, and the blue line in here is 1 contract. Okay, it's really everything in here. Okay, if it's 10, if it's 1, if it's 100, it'll still compute and display the volume in here. Okay, the cumulative volume delta. This one though here, it has to be an aggressive market buy or sell for a minimum of 5 or more contracts, and then it will compute the value. Okay, so as you can see right now, we're seeing this kind of inch up a little bit in here, but look at all of the selling in here by the larger players in here, and in here we see that. Look at how it's divergent in here. Okay, so we see this kind of accumulation in this area, which is kind of odd. Typically it's the opposite. You start to see the accumulation in these areas in here by the larger player, and then you get and you see a lot of the smaller players in here selling. That's not the case here. Okay, more buying. There's a big spike right there, coming up to 95. Yeah, that should kick off a move not only to 95 here. I'd look for the figure up here at 6,800. Okay. High of the day here at the open was up here around 68.06, and then it failed pretty quickly. All right, well, still finding those buyers, so let's see them kind of move this up. 6,800. Let's see if we can get up to this 06 up here. See what swings are along the way. We're at one right now, right here. The other one is up here at the highs of the day. Okay, some heavy selling came in here on the bid, or I'm sorry, heavy buying in here on the bid. Selling took it on though. Okay, so this is typically where we kind of see the at least the kind of maybe not the end of the trend, but like into sideways action. This is and we've covered this before. Why does this signify that? Okay, because you'll see on the way up, you'll see there'll be a lot of times underneath here. Okay, this is a good way to use Bookmap. A lot of times you'll see this kind of liquidity press underneath here, and the reaction to it is it kind of repels price. Okay, and you'll see this happen up here, and it doesn't, you find, it actually attracted price action. It attracted sellers took it on in here. Okay, so that means that we found some selling activity, right? And this is where a lot of times we don't know if it's going to be a reversal, but it usually means that we can get some sideways consolidation, okay, before either a continuation or a breakdown. There's a book sweep right there. Very hard to determine when that's going to come in. Look at that book sweep. Actually, these kinds of moves in here are really good for demonstrating what's going on in the markets, the market mechanics, to be honest. If anyone has any questions about this, we covered it, many times over the years. But if you have questions, I'd be happy to go through it. In fact, let's put some stops and icebergs on here. I'm sure that's going to be a pretty big stop run there. Chart, subchart. Yeah, there's our stop run there. Let me take CBD off. Let's take another read in here after this kind of back and forth here, a few different rotations. Still finding buyers. Just through 6,800. And still stopping people out. So 6810 is blood red. It's been in here since 1008 or 1009. 222 contracts up there. Anyway, guys, you see, I mean, our read down here at this time was we're looking for sellers to press this level here. Okay, that was it, just that. It's an important level. I wanted to see see if it accepted below this or if it rejected and came back in. Well, we didn't get either of those scenarios in here. It never went there. We started to see some of these like clusters of buyers that we had mentioned, and then kind of compared it to the clusters of selling. And it's not easy. We accepted above this. We're still in the same theme here. The buyers are coming in and taking price higher. And let's see the buyers come right back up here to 03. Looking for that continuation, looking for a book sweep through this 03 to like 05 and 06 if we can. Okay, let's see if we can catch a little bit more, a little bit of selling in here, trapped and then squeezed to the upside here. All right, also let's take a look at our candlestick chart. Haven't done that yet. We covered our higher time frame levels, but let's go back and take a look at our candlestick chart and then see what's going on in here. Okay, so it was on the daily in here. This moved down, big red candle, and you know, it broke this level. All of these levels in here. We're kind of looking for that for a while now. Last week we were looking for the break and continuation. We never got it last week. It always went below here and went back into the range. Now you can see that yesterday has done the same thing, a massive move down below, but then a move right back up end of the day. Now this is due to some of the geopolitical news about the war being over sooner rather than later. And let's take a look at the price action today and then the hourly and the 15-minute here. Okay, so we gapped down again. This was I'm sorry, this was yesterday. So today we open up today. Around 94. Okay. Oh yeah, okay, here it is here. All right. Dip back down, okay, and coming right back up. Now, this to me, again, looks like a beautiful continuation pattern starting to unfold, and we can look for this to maybe come back up into these swings up in here, 68.35. Okay, we do have the momentum in here. We're up into these swings previously earlier today. Let's see if we can get more buyers. Again, this is the we've been up here a few different times. If we get enough buyers, I'd look for high a day at this kind of 18 up here, and then maybe we can get back up into this 35 to 38 level we were just talking about. Okay, so just coming up into 10. This is what we were looking at earlier. Remember the sellers took these guys on here, this high liquidity right here. Okay, so just keep these things in mind. These are nice little order flow events that can be useful because we're looking for chop after that, and that's what we got. Okay, 10 just transacted. And there's still buying pressure. Wow. Okay. All right, so that just happened again here. And I like this one because not only do we have high liquidity here that transacted, we found some sellers just above it here. Okay, so I'm looking to see if we get more sellers right here to trade back down to this little bottom edge here at 07, maybe down to 05 here. Okay, so just looking for some back and forth right now. Okay, now I know we're in a big uptrend, a lot of momentum here, but looking at some of the order flow events that we just saw. Okay, high liquidity in here, filled at 10, lots of liquidity being filled up along the way, and then we found our sellers right in here, right in that area here. Now we have to zoom into that area to understand, right? You might miss it otherwise. So we saw this big seller here, and they took on that buyer here. That transaction took place. Yeah, just some back and forth again. Okay, well, we have a potential squeeze now after this selling in here. I was looking for a bit more of a move out of those sellers. We did come down a bit here, but now we got to go through another scenario in here of the squeeze. These sellers in here that sold are going to feel the pain in here if we can continue to get buyers, and it looks like we are. So let's see if they can continue to squeeze and press. See how we're above all of that selling in here. We're looking for the buyers to squeeze. We're looking for our stop run. We're looking for higher liquidity up in these areas in here. Okay, we have this as fuel here. Okay, well, let's see if we get even more fuel here. Okay, a little bit more here. This as fuel. If we got to get back up above it though, around this 13.75 with buyers. We've been seeing a lot of these kinds of moves like this. Where it looks like it's so obvious it's going to go one direction, but and then we get these trap traders and then squeeze to the other side. Okay, even more. Okay, all right, here we go. There are buyers. Now we should get a move here. We look for this book sweep and the stop run here up into our 16. Well, there's 15, but I'm looking for more than that. I think we got enough fuel in here and here to get a bigger move than that. Let's see if we can get up to 20. Now, for those of you who are still in this and just trailing your stop, okay, well, when you start to see some of these things in here and we break another level here, trail your stop. Trail your stop up. Now your stop is down here, kind of along with these guys here at 10. Okay, this liquidity here. All right, makes sense. So the way, now trading is life is the and shark. So both of them are in here. Have some really good stop management techniques with their trailing stops, and this is a great way and a guideline here to do it. Okay, so here, just under this area here, you would be trailing your stop. Okay, because it broke here, it broke this level here, right? Okay, once it breaks, you can move your stop up. So actually, this wouldn't be a bad, let's just go through this exercise in here. It's be pretty good, I think. Okay. All right, so let's suppose that, oh, I don't know, you're looking for a continuation pattern in here. Maybe it was in here that we talked about it. And maybe it was here or maybe it was in here. I can't recall. Anyway, so it broke out of this range in here. Well, first off, your original stop would be here, right? Okay, so now once it's, maybe you take some off up here at your liquidity level. You're probably in somewhere around in here, right? And then once it breaks this level here, okay, I'll mark it up with a bigger line here. Once it breaks this level here, now you move your stop up. Okay, so no, I'm sorry. You would still keep it here. Maybe you'd bring it down to break even or someplace in here, right? But now it's accepting in this new zone in here, right in here. Once it breaks that level, now you bring your stop up. Okay, so now you can, let's get rid of this line and let's move our stop here. Choose something else here. Just use a line here. Okay, our stop was here. And once it breaks this level up here, right, this high, this swing high, actually we just bring it up to here, right below this level here. Okay, once it breaks this high up here, that's when you can bring it up. And now it's kind of conservative, but it's a good one. It gives some breathing room to trail it by another level behind. All right, so then once it breaks this level in here, well, it did already. Once it breaks that one up in here, now we bring it up to this one up here. Okay, once it breaks that one up here, we bring it to this one here. Okay, makes sense? Trading is life. Shark, any input on that? I know some of you guys are more aggressive than others. See, once it breaks this level in here, we bring it up to here. Okay, we're looking for it to break out and accept higher because it's trending. And now these are, again, guidelines in here. You know, this is giving it some breathing room. It's not the most breathing room, but it, you know, it gives you some room. If you're more aggressive, then you're more likely to get stopped out. Okay, and then maybe you'll miss the trend. Okay, so right now, let's see where our stop would be here. We broke out of this level here. Our stop is here. We broke out of that level here. Now we move it up to here. Okay. Okay, and then we kind of just broke out of that level here. Okay, we can bring it up to here. Okay, so that's where our stop is. It's around 12.5 or 13. Okay, that's the method you use. Trading is life. Yeah, so you know, initially remember it's when you first get in, you know, your stop is below the swing. All right, now once it breaks that level, you know, you might want to move it up, but the more conservative approach is you still keep it here. Okay, because retesting the top of this level, maybe back down to point of control or where it broke out of this little or high volume node where it broke out, and here might get retested, but it shouldn't, right? Anyway, so that for that reason you'd kind of bring it up to just below that high volume node where it broke out from. All right, now that's initially, so the initial part of it, so maybe a little different. Once you start breaking the next level, though, is when you move it. You move it up. Okay, so I'm hoping this makes sense to you guys. It's a great way to ride out these grinding moves that you just don't know how far it'll go. Okay, so we'd still be in this barely, right? Came down, the best bid came down to 13.25, one tick away. Okay, but we're still in it, right? Okay, I want to see this level up here, basically around this above 20.5 or so. I want to see that broken, and then I'll move it up. Well, we'll take a look once it breaks here, because we're kind of looking at some smaller little levels in here. Yeah, it's a great way to protect your winnings. And the idea here is you're riding the trend, right? So we're looking at higher highs and higher lows, and there's more buyers who rotate back in. So we're just trailing behind. Guys, we'll have some workshops for the pilot program starting soon. I don't have a date yet, but when we do, we'll have Shark, Trading is Life, and others come in and go through their method of trailing stops and managing profits, etc. Okay, so now it's breaking this level in here. Okay, we're at a pretty good little level. The only reason I brought it up here was because it kind of broke this smaller one in here. Now there's kind of a smaller one in here too, but I don't want to give away too much as we start getting up here higher. So you can see we kind of broke this little level here. So I mean, you could move it up to about here, 16.5 or 16.25 as well. It's a little more aggressive, but the idea is it's kind of the same here. It's really we want to see a decisive break here of 20. Okay, then I can bring it up here. Yeah, it's really a great thing. Trading's Life, Shark, they're both coaches over here at the pilot program. And they've mastered this technique. It's been working really well for them. So if you guys want to come over and if you want to ask them in the pilot program, and then we'll not only that, you can get feedback directly from them, but like I said, we'll have some workshops. Kevin, let's see. How do we set up the large trader chart? Not sure what you mean by large trader chart. I mean zooming out. Boy, we're right up here at this big swing here. And this is the overnight high up here at 33. Let's mark up that overnight high and swing up here. Okay, so these are stops and icebergs down here, Kevin. And the histogram here of the volume, sure, that's no problem. So you go up to studies configuration here, and then you'll see volume bars here. Okay, so select it, and then this is something I like to do. Let's go to the volume dots right below it here. Okay, and this is the setting that I have. It is the default setting. Yeah, I might have moved a few things here and there, but just a little bit. But it's mostly default. I'm using volume delta here. This is buy minus sell, right? So it's not total volume, it's buy minus sell, right? And then what I do is I apply to bars here. Just you can click on this button here, and then apply to the bars. Okay, we go over to the bars here, and you can see it says volume delta as well. Okay, I really like this setup very much, although also the clustering is the same now as the volume dots. You can also inherit from the dots or apply to the dots, whatever. So you can use these two buttons to be on the same page, basically. All right, so now we close that. And what I like about it so much, and this has been really helpful for me, is to look at the volume dots in here within the context of the structure. So I know where the aggressors are transacting, and are they moving price? I know that in here if they are or are not. The bars don't tell me that. And what the bars do, though, is a really important element for me, is to look at these kind of overall delta down here. This is the same way that a lot of footprint traders use it, except for this is graphically displayed here. Okay, we know the delta is huge here, right? On the buy side. We know there was some pretty big selling delta here. Same idea. This would be in your footprint chart in your delta column, and in the sub chart here. This would say like negative, I don't know, 300 or something. This one here is going to be a positive like 1200 or something. Okay, so and then you can see some delta, negative delta coming in here. Okay, and then some buying coming in here. Now, see how we're starting to kind of put pieces together here. We can just from this alone in here. Okay, are we seeing more buyers come in? Maybe we will. Maybe they'll start to pick up, but I'm not seeing a whole lot here. Okay, and we're approaching this higher time frame level, high of the overnight. We have high liquidity here at 30, so there's a lot of ideas to start to look for maybe a transition from buy side to sell side. Okay, but we need to wait for this to manifest and to unfold, and it's going to take a while for that to happen. Typically, that's what it takes a while to kind of turn. And then what you'll see in here is back and forth in the delta. You'll see one big green bar, one big red bar, one big green bar, one big red bar, and then it doesn't really give you too much insight. You'll also see it in the price structure here, and the back and forth in the volume in here. Okay, you'll see red dots, green dots, red dots, green dots, and that's chop. Guys, as I was putting together the materials for this that we'll release maybe on Friday, I think, Thursday or Friday, the replay files for the low volume pullback and the criteria for it. It was really interesting last week as I was putting this together for you. To identify chop and how to stay away from it. And it sounds like a simple thing, but it was pretty profound for me. It's like when you start to see like, well, I'm just not getting any follow through in here. See, look at how the delta on the sell side is picking up in here. Okay, now that we don't know, we might get one more big, huge stop run back to the high of the overnight here. Stop through that, then maybe it comes back into the range. We don't know, right? But we are seeing this is fact in here. Okay, we are seeing this kind of delta in here. We're seeing clusters of it. This is typically what precludes the reversal. Okay. Shark is another one who is really good at that. He looks at a lot of footprint or delta. and also he looks at a lot of high volume nodes, like some of these areas down in here. So let's go through you can see how this can develop into a trading strategy. Now, this is something that you'll need to come up with, though, and study and back test. Okay, this is what we do in the pilot program, but we don't use this exact setup here. Okay, but here's a potential setup for you to look at, right? Here's your high volume node around 22. Here's our delta, starting to, see more and more sellers. Okay, great. So now, and we're trading up into high liquidity up in here. Right now, I would look for potential break of this 26 level on selling. And if we do get that, I would look for taking some profit down here around this 22 area here. Okay, now this is the other scenario we just covered before of the stop run or the kind of book sweep above that area, and then it can go even higher here, but then the potential to come back in and then move down to this high volume cluster in here with the negative delta down here. Transition to buy side to sell side. Sure, VinFraud, this is a really good one. I love it, and I think it's very visual. And Nan has had some really good examples of this lately. Well, all of you guys have had really good examples of this lately. Okay, well, not just lately. Let's zoom out here. Let's get a picture here. Yeah, this was kind of choppy. Let's move in a little closer here. Okay, so now this is price continues to move up, and again, this is another squeeze here, guys. Like this selling in here is feeling the pain, and we're getting the stop run here. This is the price action we've been seeing for some weeks now. That's been driving the market. The short-term order flow. Okay, so boy, I'll have to zoom in. I'll have to even find a smaller example for you, I think. Yeah, and I want to find a reversal for you, VinFraud, because I know where you're going with this. Maybe down here. There's a small little one here. Okay. So it's a very small one. We can probably find another one, but I got it right here, and I can cover it right now. Okay, so here's some buying in here. Here's some selling coming in. Okay, selling. Hits high liquidity, selling, and then really kind of nothing in here, no volume or very little volume, and then buying starts to come back in. Okay, so this has been sell side in here. Okay, and then now we're starting to see buy side in here. And what we're seeing in here is the same thing. Sell side in here, buy side starting to come in. Now, you can look at it in the bars in here, VinFraud, but the trick is understanding the price action. A lot of times you won't get this move like this. It'll start to transition within the same range, which is fine. You can look for that, and then you can look for the break of that on more buying. Okay, so that transition kind of takes place typically in this little range in here. In fact, probably the best example I have for you is in a diagram form. You'll see it in the markets. It's not. It happens all the time. If we go to the Learning Center and we go to this setup in here, okay, the reversal, and it's just a diagram in here, but this is it, this is what we'll see: head and shoulders setup in here. But we're not going. We don't types of reversal. We don't care about the name or what what it might signify, and like understanding the head and shoulders within the pattern in here. What matters is the order flow within this structure. Okay, don't get hung up on head and shoulders, right? So anyway, selling, heavy selling. Okay, pullbacks here. Here's your low volume pullback. Okay, into a higher time frame level. Okay, or an average true range. Now on the way down, there's going to be heavy buying here passively. Okay, and that's the first thing we want to look at. Okay, and then we'll start to see some buying start to come in here. Okay, those little pockets that I was just outlining, Vinfra. Okay, and we'll start to see how the trend is starting to kind of bend a little bit here. And then we get more selling though, and that will make the head here. And now it just makes a slightly lower low here. And then you get more buying starting to come back in here, okay, compared to that little pocket over here. This is where we start to see the shift. Okay, this is where you'll see those bars, the volume bars down here, shift from sell side to buy side. Okay, we'll look for other examples, Vinfra. Ask for it in the pilot program. We'll find them as they come up. It's a really visual thing. Now again, now we're starting to see selling coming in, but look at the selling that comes in. It's not as powerful. It may or may not trade into high liquidity down here. Okay, that's why it's not red here. And then this is actually a really aggressive entry for the head and shoulders pattern. And your stop below the swing here, and you maybe take some off at the top here. Anyway, let's not go over the trade management. We'll just go over the shift in the pattern in here. So sell side to buy side. And now there's probably enough buying in here to break this here and break out. Okay, now it most likely trades up into high liquidity up in here, and then you get another pullback here. And again, this would be like your low volume pullback in here. And low volume pullback happens all the time. It happened over here. It happened over here. This is a little bit higher volume in here, but nonetheless, it's still on lower volume compared to the selling. Okay? And then this can turn into the possible continuation trade here. So now some selling comes in, not enough. There may or may not be high liquidity here again, but you certainly will get the buyers coming in. All right, and that's what we're looking for again in here. Those buyers start to come back in and pull it back up, and you'll see this is sell side, right? And this typically happens here at the head. Sell side turns into buy side. Okay? This a lot of times maybe you don't even get a head and shoulders. You just get a V bottom. Same idea though. Sell side to buy side. Okay. Now the trend line break accumulation is kind of similar to this, except that we are looking at here. Let me just draw it up. We are looking at the trend line like this, right? It's the same idea, but this just has another pullback here. A lot of times in the trend line break accumulation, what you get is this move, and then you get this move, right? So it doesn't even do it. It bypasses that shoulder. And now it depends. Like for that move to unfold, this is where context is king, and it is the same order flow ideas in here. This is what we need to see though. We need to see heavy liquidity in here. Okay, getting filled. That's why we want 3+ levels. Okay? And then we want to see those aggressors come in, and we want to see those aggressors break the structure. Okay, could be a diagonal, could be a horizontal structure, right? Now you might, for those of you who know the head and shoulders patterns, you might say, oh, it's the same thing as breaking the neckline. Maybe. I just don't care. All I care about is the order flow within it. And I want to see that transition take place, because I know if that transition takes place, it will most likely reverse, and you will get this continuation pattern. right? That's what matters. And Vinfra, is a great question. And understanding this will happen in any reversal. Okay, it doesn't have to be head and shoulders, 3 hits to the bottom, or whatever it is, like V bottom, whatever. You're going to see some sort of variation of that. All right, let's go back here. Okay, so now we were looking for this overnight high up here, and this is all hindsight now, right? But we were looking for it, right? We were prepared to look for this scenario. I don't want to, I mean, it's true, right? I did say this. Anyway, we're looking for the stop run up into that area up in here, and we know there's pockets of sellers already. So Vinfra, let's look for it. Okay, it's not a good example in here. Sometimes it's just so beautiful, but you can kind of see it maybe here. Just note these pockets though, right? These are really key to note, really key. That there's the potential for that, there's a potential for that reversal because of this delta change in here. Right now, combine that with high liquidity getting filled, combine that with a key level up in here. Now you got it. Now you got something. Okay, so we kind of missed it, as I was explaining all that. So let's go back here. Let me clear all the drawings off, and then we can put in our diagonal lines in here. Okay, now they're going to be about the same area. So let's get rid of this one. Okay, so we start to note that transition in here. We're going through the same idea here. It's just going to be, the turned upside down. The inverse is going to be inversed. All right, so high liquidity, okay, higher time frame level, the pockets of selling, and then we see the structure starting to break. Right, so now what structure, where do we want to be aggressive in here? Would you take it up in here? Maybe. I would probably be taking it down in here, to be honest. Maybe here, this would be kind of aggressive, but I like it. And maybe I would take some off down here or here. The liquidity is down here. Okay, look for the next one down here. Now, let's suppose, let's encapsulate this all and put it all together here. All right, so here's our structure. Okay, here's our break. Let's suppose we got in here. Okay, and we have a lot of liquidity, and we have high liquidity here on the offer. We see this delta starting to shift in here. We see the selling in here. We got our break. We get a pullback here. Very slight, very slight. Okay, and then this is going to be your low volume node in here. On this move, no question about it, right in here, right? Here it is here, okay? Because we didn't very little volume traded in there. Okay, this is where the low volume pullback can get kind of tricky, okay? And in here, you're looking for those sellers to break the range. That's a breakdown or a breakout. In here on a pullback, then you don't get much. So if you're waiting and watching for it to trade into that low volume area in here, you didn't get in. You missed it. All right, but you could get in here when you see it's starting to break that range again. Okay, so now let's go through this. So let's suppose we're in. We'll go through each scenario. We're in here, okay, it broke this level in here. Okay, broke this level in here. You can trail your stop down to here. Okay, and same with this guy in here. You would be trailing your stop down into some place like in here. Okay, now it's just breaking this level in here. Now we want to see it break pretty clean. I want to see it break into 20 here. Okay, I wanted to establish a new range. I don't want to see it kind of waffle around in a range. I want to see it establish a new range. That's when I'm willing to move my stop. All right, so anyway, you can see it hasn't really made a decisive break of that. So my stop's still up here around 28. Make sense, Vinfra? Okay. Any other questions, guys and ladies? Okay, see this little swing here at 24? I want to see price break this level here around 21 and break into a new, a range down below here. If we get that, I'll move my stop down to about 24 and a half right here. The water is less clear than me. Oh, I've never heard that saying before. Okay, I like it. Okay, now you can see like you're not going to get much out of this one in here. This is something to determine about delta and maybe this is like this is another intraday pattern here around this time. I'd stay the course until you get stopped out. If you see if I see a ton of buying coming in here, then I'll just get out. But the right now it just traded back up to the top of this range here at 26. And now it has the potential to break and come back up into here, hit that low volume node here or here, okay, here at 30 or here at 27, okay, and then maybe continue to the downside. Okay, or we might get a continuation pattern out of this. We might get another transition. Here we go, Vinfra. Here, sell side to buy side. Okay. And we are breaking that structure, and we would just be stopped out there. Okay, and it looks like we're a little too late to catch that continuation pattern now. I mean, this is where, we saw it develop in here, but I wouldn't have taken it. I wouldn't have taken I was already being it. I would have taken my stop, or I would have, maybe around here, I would have just gotten out. I was starting to see that buying again up here. It's very aggressive, but you can, and it's very hard to do this. This is, it just takes a lot of time to be able to go, aha, you know what? No, I'm going to switch. I'm going to switch to buy side now. Okay. So it's a hard one because you're already short, looking for this move down. And then you start to see this not do what we wanted it to do, right? We didn't move our stop because it never really broke clearly below here. And then we start to see these buyers mount in here. And it's like, well, stay the course, or in here, potentially, you see that you can get out and save yourself maybe a few points. If you're very confident about this pattern in here, and I think you guys will be, so you will be able to look at this and go, you know what, I'm just going to reverse. I'm going to go long. Okay, this is what that replay mode will do for you. I'm a firm believer in it. When you see these patterns in here, and you're in a position, I think you know what you're looking for. It's unfolding. You can transition. It's not easy, but you can. Okay, you say, no, you know what? I got it wrong. I'm seeing this transition unfold here from sell side to buy side. Here's my low volume pullback, or here's my pullback here. Here's my breakout here. This would be your low volume pullback in here. Okay, and then you'd look again for a continuation now up here. Okay, you look for buyers here, and then we look for a break of the test of the overnight high, and then the break of it. Okay, this is not really the continuation pattern here. We're looking for it here. All right, let's see. Look at our deltas in here. Let's look at liquidity, look at structure, look at delta. Okay, more buyers. All right, so let's see now. See how you have to be careful with that. More buyers, and then sellers came in, and now the delta is, it changed. Okay, now we're seeing more buyers again. If we see more sellers right now again, like it'll probably, we'll probably see it muted in here as now looks like we got more buyers. What are my size for the volume dots? They're up here. It looks like I have them almost in the middle here. This is a new feature in 7.7. See, it says 38 there, 40. So I have it around, here's, midway here, 50, right? You can kind of see it underneath. Yeah, now you can see it. Right, here's 50. So that's midway. I like it a little bit less. I used to like it like this. I'd like to see all the dots on the continuation. I've kind of, boosted it up a little bit in here. All right, the continuation here is it's kind of morphing into something else. Okay. Okay, we don't want to see this in here. This is what I was talking about earlier about it starts to kind of turn into chop or potentially into trap volume and then the move above, right? That kind of choppy environment and squeezing environment, typically what we see is this. You'll see your sellers here, you'll see your buyers above. Okay, so for example, here, we can get down on a bigger picture. We can get down here and you can get some sellers here. Look out. Like all this buying in here is going to be squeezed. Okay, identifying traps is, I think it's a real important element within the order flow, because a lot of times the market's just chop. We want to understand that chop and the distinction between that and real moves. Or you can trade the chop too, or the trapped volume and look for the squeeze and trade along with the squeeze. Just note though that this is exactly why one of the reasons why we came up with the trendline break accumulation setup is because that kind of price action is created by trap traders, and it's aggressive volume. What we want to see in the trendline accumulation is we want to see passive accumulation. Okay, and then we want to see aggressive accumulation. Okay, like here's our aggressive accumulation in here, then here's our breakout. Let's clear the drawings again. Okay, so understanding that is really key, because then there will be a lot more fuel left in those moves. when we understand the passive accumulation along with the break of the structure and aggressive accumulation. All right, no other questions? As you'll see this on all time frames. I mean, look at like in here, you probably get a little squeeze right now, pop up to maybe 30. Let's see. There we go, right? It's these guys. Okay. Now, how much more? We don't know how much more aggressive buying there is, but it might just peter out here and then we get more sellers. Yeah, here we go. Now, look at that 138 right there. I don't see anyone interested in buying that. So now we're going to see sellers. It's pushing sellers, it's pushing buyers away. So I'm looking for the sellers to trade down to maybe this structure or this liquidity down into this level in here. Let's see if they can. Okay, well, now we're seeing a bit of buying. And maybe do they take these guys on? Do they trade into them and through them? Yeah, they do. Okay. All right, great. Okay, let's see if we can get more of a squeeze here. These sellers here, can we get buyers back up here? And if we can, I'd look for the move up into here or here. Anyway, Vinfrog, your question was great. It helped put these pieces together, understanding the delta both within the structure and then outside of the structure in the bars here. Okay, and if you don't see it in here, this means you're in chop. And if you're in chop, you know, you can just look for these kind of swings to the other sides of ranges, and then it kind of fails and comes back in, swings to the other side of the range and fails and comes back in. And that's pretty typical when you see that kind of fluctuating delta like that. All right, let's see if we get our buyers in here again. I like it. See how it's building in here at the top of the range here? Now let's see the push. And here's some, you know, high liquidity here at 29.5. Is it repelling? Or are sellers interested in it? Sellers are interested in it. Okay, so still looking kind of choppy. Okay, what if we get below this in here? Okay, this buying cluster in here, they're gonna be running for the hills, and we'll see a move back down to the bottom of the range. And we'll look for a book sweep here down to 26 3/4, which I like somewhere around in here. All right, here we go. Let's see if we get it. No. Yeah, it's just choppy, guys. It's really hard to determine here. All right. Anyway, I think that's it. We got to get going here. We'll call it a day. And there we go. There. Now we're getting a bit of a squeeze here. Okay, so look at this line in here at 28.5. Okay, I'm looking for sellers below it. Let's see it right in here, 27.5 more sellers and then a sweep. And we can't get it. Right, here we go. All right, let's see the book sweep now, down into maybe our 25. No, no, not enough. Not enough. All right. Anyway, guys, it's this is very choppy in here. We're looking for some sort of follow through just down to the bottom of the range in here, and you can see what's kind of happening. Like these sellers are going to get annihilated if we get buyers back up above here around 30, and then we'll see a break to the upside, one way or the other. But you look at the chop and look at the structures in here. A lot of times what you'll see as well is within the bigger structure, you'll see two different structures, right? Now here, this looks better here for them to sweep, right? They swept through this smaller structure. Now I'm looking for them to continue to press. And then we get the squeeze, and then we get the stop run. There we go. I'm still looking for more out of that. I think we should be able to get down into 25 3/4, maybe lower here. And we can't. Yeah. Anyway, it's just choppy. All right, guys. Thank you for coming. We'll catch up with you again on Friday. But a good session here. We'll have some materials for you guys in that pilot program, and looking very forward to that and building this out with you guys. It's been long awaited for some of these materials here, but it'll be the next evolution and step in the program. Okay. All right. Well, hope to see you then next Friday or Thursday for the Bookmap Academy meeting. Continue to post, especially you new guys in the pilot program. You got to post, and this is where you're going to get feedback. So first, understand, digest the materials, and then post so that we can give you some feedback and see if you're going the right direction or not, or how to keep you going here on the right path. Thank you guys. Take care. Have a good rest of your day, and we'll chat later. Bye bye.